All right, folks, here is the deal. The man at the center of this story is Donald Trump. And make no mistake, he is being thrown under the bus by his own Senate GOP. Even as his desperation grows and his grip on the party crumbles, Trump built his power on loyalty, blind, unquestioning loyalty. For years, senators who once mocked him now bowed their heads. Governors, donors, media figures all fell in line. The MAGA movement became a religion, but every cult built on fear eventually eats itself alive. When Trump tried to rebrand himself for a comeback, he turned to America's youth, hoping to look like an anti-establishment hero again. But instead of inspiring them, he courted extremists like Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, Stephen Miller, and Carolyn Levitt. These were figures fueled by anger, fear, and resentment. He saw young Americans crushed under student debt, low wages, and automation taking jobs. Instead of offering solutions, he gave them enemies. Immigrants, LGBTQ people, minorities. He told them to hate instead of hope. For a while, that message worked. But you cannot sell rage forever. Young Americans started seeing through the scam. They saw billionaires like Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg building their empires while workers struggled. They saw wages stagnate while rent exploded. They saw politicians of all parties get richer while the middle class vanished. Now, Trump's approval among young voters has collapsed, dropping more than 60 points in months. From positive approval to one of the lowest ratings any modern leader has ever recorded among those under 30. It is not just political anymore. It is generational rejection. And here is where it gets interesting. His Senate allies, the same ones who once stood by his every word, are starting to disappear. They are backing away quietly. They are voting against him on key issues, rejecting his endorsements, pretending they do not hear his rants, because they have seen the future, and Trump is not in it. This did not start overnight. The breaking point came on January 6th, when Trump's words unleashed chaos at the Capitol. Senators realized they could be remembered as accomplices in one of America's darkest moments. They defended him again and again, but each scandal dragged them deeper. When Trump mocked them as weak, when he demanded total obedience, they stayed silent until they did not. Because in politics, fear does not last forever. And once people stop fearing you, your power is gone. Trump's Senate allies were always transactional. Mitch McConnell tolerated him because he delivered judges. Lindsey Graham defended him for attention. Ted Cruz bowed for ambition. But when the trade-off stopped paying, when Trump turned from an asset into a liability, they began to plan their escape. Trump knows this. You can see it in every angry post, every rally, every paranoid outburst. He feels the walls closing in. His party's donors are moving on. His rallies are emptier. His once loyal senators now talk about party unity instead of Trump victory. Translation: they are ready to move on without him. Behind closed doors, Republican strategy meetings are filled with coded language. Post-Trump conservatism, reclaiming credibility, new leadership. It is the language of quiet rebellion. They cannot attack him directly yet, but they are already building distance, testing how far they can go before the base notices. Trump built his brand on dominance, but now he is losing control of his own army. Every defection cuts deeper. Every hesitation in support stings harder. Senators who once jumped to defend him now hesitate. Governors once begging for endorsements now avoid his name. The same media allies who built him up now focus on his legal troubles instead of his rallies. He is trapped between two realities, a base that still worships the image of a winner, and a political elite that sees a sinking ship. His desperation shows. He demands loyalty tests. He attacks his own. He blames everyone: McConnell, DeSantis, the FBI, immigrants, even artificial intelligence for his problems. But the Senate betrayal hits differently. Because this is not Democrats taking him down. It is his own people, his own creation turning against him. Behind the scenes, advisors describe him as restless and angry. He calls old allies at midnight, searching for loyalty, wondering who leaked what. He obsesses over polls showing him bleeding support. Some allies have stopped taking his calls. Others leak his tantrums to the press. Every whisper cuts him deeper. The Senate GOP sees the storm coming. They know Trump's legal problems are multiplying. classified documents, election interference, financial fraud. They know sticking with him means sharing his downfall, so they are slipping away, quietly, before the collapse. Trump calls them traitors, rhinos, cowards. He thinks shouting louder will make them come back, but it will not. The fear is gone. The spell is broken. Even his base senses it. The energy is fading. The rallies feel smaller. The chants sound tired. The slogans do not hit the same. The young voters, once curious, now mock him online. They have seen the billionaire elite he protects. They have seen the hollow promises. They have seen a man more desperate for attention than change. As that illusion shatters, the Senate betrayal becomes complete. Quietly, strategically, they are preparing for a party without Trump. They will not say it yet, but they know it is coming. The next election will not be about him. It will be about surviving him. Trump's world runs on loyalty, and loyalty has limits. You can only demand so much before people realize fear is not strength. His power came from intimidation, from making others afraid to cross him. But when that fear dies, so does his control. And right now, you can feel it dying. He is being isolated, piece by piece, politically, financially, socially. The Senate betrayal is just the first open wound. Donors will follow. Media allies will drift away. And when the next election cycle begins, those who once shouted Trump 2024 will quietly say, "We need new leadership." The tragedy for Trump is that he created this fate himself. He demanded worship instead of respect. He punished allies for showing independence. He turned politics into loyalty tests. And now that loyalty is gone. Every dictator learns the same lesson. The people closest to you are the first to betray you when the walls start falling. And those walls are falling fast. Trump's legacy is no longer about victory. It is about decline, about how a man who once commanded fear now stands alone, surrounded by the ruins of his own movement, the Senate. GOP's betrayal is not the end of his story, but it is the moment the world stopped pretending he was untouchable.